The boy offered her a piggyback ride, which she accepted. Pamela's father, who was nearby, saw what was going on and immediately deemed it to be completely inappropriate. He ran over, pulled Pamela off of the boy's back, and strongly warned the teen not to approach his daughter again. The boy was known to the rest of the neighborhood to be strange, and the boy was John Tessier. There was no doubt about it. John Tessier had changed his name in the early 90s to Jack McCullough, taking his mother's maiden name and simply preferring Jack, and he now lived in Seattle, Washington. On June 29th of 2011, based on the discoveries we've just been over and more that we'll get into shortly, McCullough was brought in to Seattle Police Headquarters for questioning in relation to the disappearance of Maria Ridulph.
We've not been formally introduced. I'm Dave Zalewski.
Dave, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Brian.
Brian.
Handel.
Nice to meet you.
Brian, I'm an investigator, and Brian's with Illinois State Police. And
with who?
Illinois State Police.
Really?
Yeah. And what you probably remember a long time ago, back 50 years ago, a young girl was abducted.
I called that in. I called the FBI about that.
Okay. Back in December 3rd, 1957. Maria, exactly.
Yes.
And we've been going through and doing some new interviewing and new investigations regarding that.
Yeah, I'd be glad to help with that.
And you've been divorced 3 times?
You're investigating the child, right? You're not investigating me.
Right. This is a personal history form.
All right.
We fill this out for everybody.
All right.
Our command wants us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just do what I'm told.
Yeah.
You know.
You know why I said you weren't from here?
Why is that?
You got a tan.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a joke. What do you call somebody in Seattle with a tan? Stranger.
One interesting quality of Jack McCullough's interrogation is that he will veer back and forth between completely cooperative and hostile or borderline hostile repeatedly. For what it's worth, he was brought into the room in cuffs, so he is likely not in two minds about whether or not he is under suspicion.
If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you free of cost before questioning if you wish. And you understand that.
That's all good advice. I'm on your side on this.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you.
Right. I mean, like I said,
We just
Right.
gotta follow the boss's rules.
yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Because if the forms ain't filled out.
Yeah.
Okay. When are you going to get to the good part now?
We are done with my
Okay.
part.
I had a dream, and then it reminded me of a conversation I had as a kid. There's a little grade school that's only a block away from my home in Sycamore, which is 227. Oh, you want to write that down? The address in Sycamore?
Okay.
227 Center Cross Street. I was talking to a kid, and he said, "You see that guy over there?" I was probably 17, 18, 17. Anyway, and he said, "Stay away from that kid. He wants to talk about sex." Okay, so this kid. Oh, now I'm going to have to reach back and remember his name. I think I wrote it to the FBI, but it bothered me enough where I called up, and he lived with two boys named Davies. Don Davies is one of them, and I don't remember the other one. But he was a kid they allowed to stay with them. He didn't have a home in Sycamore.
So it was like a foster kid kind of thing.
And on the same block as Maria lived.
It can't be said for sure whether or not McCullough's story of tipping the FBI off to a boy who was said to like talking about sex and lived on the same block as Maria some 50 odd years after the fact when the memory miraculously came back